YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about a question I got a lot in my channel, in the comments, and I want to clarify here something, and that would be, why should you not ask about camera settings? Now, I see many times people asking, and also in real world, sometimes I meet people, photographers, younger photographers, and they ask me, what settings did you use for that picture, or what settings did, or what lens did you use, or something like that, That's very, very difficult to explain, to them, this kind of situation, because it's not that simple, So let's talk a little bit about this. Now, it's very funny, because if I make a video about exposure and about light manipulation and about these kind of things, nobody will watch it. I mean, it will get a few views. If you look at my channel and you look in the videos, where I explain what's the aperture, what's the shutter speed, what's the ISO, how you can get the best exposure, how you can do this, how you can do that, there are no views on it. And then people are asking me, in the other videos, what exposure did you use, what settings did you use for this picture, or what settings do you use for a skin tone, or what is this or that, or these kind of things. It's, guys, I have to tell you something. It's not that easy, even if I would tell the settings that I used 1/500 of a second, ISO 200, f 1.4, whatever, that will not help you at all, because you can have just a little bit of different lighting. And I tell you an example. I was shooting on a rugby match, and when I shoot on a rugby match sports, I always set my cameras to be on auto ISO, because I don't want to get underexposed images, or I don't want to mess around with the settings, all the time to adjust the aperture or the ISO, or to adjust all the time. So no, I will know my camera, and I will know my camera will go until ISO 3200 or ISO 4000 or whatever, and I will set my auto ISO range to ISO 4000, and that's it, and the camera will set automatically. Now, I made a photo. I was shooting in continuous, and it was like 5 or 6 shots in a row in 1 second, yeah? Now, I tell you something, in 1 second, yeah? It was ISO 100, or ISO 200, sorry, and it was ISO 400, in 1 second. At the beginning of the shots, when I started to shoot, it was ISO 200, and the last shot, it was already ISO 400, because the cloud went in the front of the sun, and that's it. Suddenly, it became ISO 400. So that's what people don't understand generally, that even if I tell you my settings, that doesn't mean anything to you, because it is only about the situation, and you have to know how to manipulate the light. You have to know how to use the light, how to use the sunshine, how to use the sunset, how to use the sunrise, how to use these kind of situations in your favor. In order to know that, you have to learn a lot. And it's not about settings, I tell you. Now, you have to understand that settings in itself, it's nothing. You have to know how to use it. I tell you an example. I was on a wedding photo shoot, yeah? And I was shooting in a situation where, again, it was a bright sunny day, and when I prepared myself, I went out and I shot. I had on that time, I used to have the Sony A6000 and the Sony A7R Mark II. Sorry, not Mark II, the Sony A7R. And I left at home my Sony A7R, and I had my Sony A6000 and the Nikon D7200 with me. Now, I shot that shot. I shot with the Sony A6000, and the Sony A6000 had only 1/4000th of a second mechanical shutter. It had no more, not 1/8000th of a second. So when I shot outside, it was a little bit, just a cloud, just a cloud, it was in the front of the sun. It was no problem. 1/4000th of a second was more than enough. Now, just 2 seconds difference, and the sun got out, behind the clouds. And the 1/4000th of a second, it wasn't enough. And I was lucky that I had an ND filter in my camera bag to stick it on the camera, and I could use it, because otherwise I would have to shut down the aperture, close down the aperture, stop down. And I didn't want that, because obviously I wanted a nice blurred, nice bokeh in the background. So I wanted to shoot wide open, but in the same time you can do it if you So even if I tell you that I shot that shot with 1/4000th of a second, how do you know that I had an ND filter in the front of the camera? You don't know that. So you try to redo that shot, you know, and you do 1/4000th of a second ISO 200 or 100 and f1.4 or f2, whatever, and then the shot is not the same. Why? Because I had a 2-stop or a 5-stop ND filter in the front of the lens. I don't know now exactly how much it was, but it was an ND filter. So guys, it's not very easy. And in my opinion, you should not ask about the settings. You should ask about how can I learn how to manipulate the light? How can I learn the best exposure? How can I achieve the best exposure? That's the question you should ask. But like I said, if I do any video about learning something, nobody watches. It gets like 100 views, you know. If I do a video about the Sony A7, I will get 10,000 views, you know, or something like that. So it's pretty sad, I tell you. It's not, because these days people, they don't want to learn, in my opinion. Anyway, please tell me your opinion. I'm very curious about your opinion. What is your opinion about these situations? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what do you think about this. Is it nice to ask, or is it advisable to ask the settings? I don't think so, but anyway, that's only my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share my videos. If you would like to support this channel, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up and share my videos. And other than that, I wish you a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Superhero.